What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to have a look at Disney Lorcana Set 2, the second chapter. We have a bunch of information about this. We've had some listings going up on a French site. It's gone up on ludivers.net. And this makes me very happy indeed. Although, for those of you that are a bit newer, a very important caveat before we get rolling here. When these listings tend to go up on retailer websites, distributor websites, etc., I cover this a lot with all the other games I look at, Pokemon and One Piece, etc., etc. This is something I do a lot. It is generally correct. It is usually correct. It usually turns out to be true. It is not confirmed or official or any of that until we actually see a reveal on the official website. Generally speaking, this is true and stays true and all of that, but until it's actually on an official website, it has to be taken with a pinch of salt. If we didn't believe it, we wouldn't be posting it. But it is important that we remember it is not official until it's posted. I mean, the best example I can think of recently was RB01, the Digimon set that was listed on distributor websites. And the information was absolutely, completely legit. Except the information also caused a bit of a backlash, and then Digimon changed the set. And they actually made a very weird thing happen. They made an announcement about an unreleased, unrevealed set, because people, including myself, had been talking about it from the distributor listing. So yes, we believe this. Yes, we think it's real. No, it is not official. And even if it's correct at this exact moment in time, there's no guarantee that it won't potentially change at some point in the future. Now, what we do have is an official release date for Set 2. This was actually published by Games Radar back in March, and I told you about it back in March. We have an official release date of November the 17th in specialist and hobby stores, and December the 1st in your mass market stores, your Target and Walmart, etc. We know this for a fact. This was officially revealed. Now, we're assuming Set 2 is going to be called the second chapter, because the first one's called the first chapter. However, we've seen this in games like Final Fantasy, for instance, where the first many sets were Opus 1, Opus 2, Opus 3, Opus 4, etc. And then it got to it's like Opus 15 or something along those lines, and then they were like, yeah, mate, we're not doing that anymore. We're just going for set names. And the reason really simply is nobody wants to actually join a card game when it's called Set 17, Set 19, Set 24. No one actually wants to do that. So for that reason, every time a TCG has numbered sets, they always get rid of the numbers after a little while because it actually puts off newer people. So that's what we know for certain. Well, over on Ludivers, they've gone and listed a bunch of sets, including Chapter 2. It is listed as Disney Lorcana TCG Chapter 2 Booster. Now, what is very important is that in French, it's called Premier Chapter, or basically it's called First Chapter in French. So in French, it literally translates as First Chapter, or Chapter 1, whereas in English, it is officially called The First Chapter. So in terms of set name, we would expect it, assuming this is correct, which we believe it is, we would expect it to not be called Chapter 2, we would expect it to be called The Second Chapter. That all makes perfect sense. Similarly, we have 2 starter decks that have gone and been revealed. I wish I could give you some information about these starter decks. We have nothing. Unfortunately, although there are 2 bits of information that we are given, and they are actually pretty important, although unsurprising. Piece of information number 1, we are told that they will feature 2 foil cards. It's exactly the same as it was in Set 1, but it's nice to know that's carrying on. And we have been told that it is going to have an extra booster pack, which again is to be expected, because that's what we had for Set 1, but it's still nice to actually know that they are carrying on. I mean, we saw there was a very brief period, where the Pokemon TCG put booster packs in theme decks, and it was awesome, and then after a while they stopped. And say after a while, there was only a couple of sets. It was very quick which honestly made me very sad because I'm a huge fan of starter decks having booster packs, especially with Lorcana, where we don't have exclusive cards in starter decks, and we don't have exclusive cards in Lorcana starter decks, but getting a foil, or a couple of foils, and a booster pack, that really does actually help to, well, make it a little bit better, soften it, phrase it how you will. So, nothing terribly surprising here, but it's still nice to have that information. Nice to know that it's going to be carrying on. As a side note, unfortunately, we know there's 2 starter decks coming rather than the 3 we got in Chapter 1. We don't know what inks they're going to feature or what characters they're going to feature, and given that there are 6 inks and we are limited to 2 inks per deck, that means that we're either getting monocolor decks, which wouldn't surprise me honestly, or it means that a couple of inks are being left out this time around. As always, as soon as we have more information, I will let you know. Now, there is a brand new product coming, which is maybe the most exciting thing that we're getting, and that is the Discovery Pack. Now, again, need to stress this is an unrevealed product. It's been listed on websites, so we believe it. Generally speaking, what happens is the information is sent out by the trading card game companies to the retailers, and it's basically, here is the information, here's when you're allowed to post it. And what an awful lot of retailers do is literally just take it and post it wholesale. They just literally paste and exactly what was sent to them onto their website. So again, unconfirmed, very likely to be true. The magic of Disney joins the world of collectible card games with this pack containing the 2 starter decks and a display of 24 Disney Lorcana TCG booster packs in French from the Chapter 2 edition. Now, I suppose there is a tiny chance that this is a French exclusive product, but that would make no sense. We've seen nothing from Lorcana so far that would suggest they're planning to do exclusives for particular areas, particular regions, particular countries, so again, technically possible, but very, 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 very unlikely. Cannot stress how unlikely this actually is. So it's going to be basically everywhere. And it's a way, there's an awful lot of people out there that like the starter decks. I like the starter decks. So being able to get both the starter decks and a booster box at the same time, it's basically like, well, everything from set 2 in one handy little box. I imagine this is going to, and we're not going to know until we get any sales figures, which we might not ever get, to be fair. I would imagine this to be a very, very popular product. This seems like the kind of thing people are going to be absolutely loving. As a quick side note, if you add up the 24 packs for the booster box and the 2 starter decks, this actually works out a tiny bit cheaper. But we don't have MSRP here, we've just got the price this particular store is selling for. So this implies a slight saving, well, there is a slight saving, but we don't actually know whether it's a shop giving us a saving or the MSRP giving us a little bit of a saving. We'll have to wait and see. And once again, the Treasure Trove is making a reappearance here. And we don't actually have any information about this at all, unfortunately. Store, inventory, and complete your Disney Lorcana TCG collection with this English Illumineers Trove from the Chapter 2 edition, which would actually suggest there isn't a specific French version of this, and that in France you have to buy the English version. But like I say, we have no extra information. We can assume it's going to be roughly the same as the one was for set 1, but we don't actually know it's going to be the same as the one for set 1, so expect roughly the same contents, but wait to see when it's actually confirmed. What we do not have listed on the website, however, is a gift set. Now, does that mean there isn't a gift set in set 2? Maybe. Maybe not. There's every possibility that they were given information on some products, but not all. We see this sometimes where some products for a particular set get listed in other card games before others. So the fact that there is no gift set listed means there is a chance that we're not actually getting a gift set. It is in no way, shape, or form even remotely confirmation that we're not getting a gift set. Instructive, but that's all we can actually say. And then we've got some information on your accessories. We have the names of the characters, but we have nothing in the way of art or anything along those lines. So we got deck boxes and sleeves featuring Mulan and Sisu. Do bear in mind that because of what we saw in set 1, it should be presumed that we are going to see the same artwork on the sleeves and on the deck box. So if we take Captain Hook as an example here, you'll notice that the artwork on the sleeves and the artwork on the deck box are exactly the same. Again, that is not confirmed, because we can't confirm it yet, we don't know, but it is extremely likely that that will end up being the case. And then we have playmats featuring Winnie the Pooh and the Beast. And I'm just telling you right now, if the artwork is any good whatsoever, I want me a Winnie the Pooh playmat. I don't know why I want the Winnie the Pooh playmat so much, but I do. We're going to have to wait to see what the artwork is like. Might end up not being good enough for me. Personally, I really want the Winnie the Pooh playmat. I really hope it ends up being good. At the moment, Maui, as far as I'm concerned, is by a bit of a margin the best playmat. That's the one I'm going to be rocking. But, I don't know. Winnie the Pooh? If it's got decent artwork, I could be tempted. So we have confirmation of the characters featuring on all of the merch. I suppose I should mention again that this is not confirmed, this is all the merch, but it is very likely that this is all the merch. We'll have to wait and see. And we have confirmation of a bunch of products, which may or may not be the full lineup, but again, is quite likely. Of course, do remember that in the same way we got Captain Hook merch, and we got Captain Hook cards, these characters featuring on the merch are very, very likely to end up being featured in the actual set. Again, it's not confirmed, but it's extremely likely. So, no Winnie the Pooh in set 1. Looks like Winnie's coming in set 2. And presumably a bunch of other characters from that universe as well. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we know, and now it's over to you guys. Tell me what you think about this. Tell me how excited you are. Tell me anything you want to tell me in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about Lorcana and a bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.